Good morning. So today, maths fractions of amounts, we're comparing and ordering. So we are going to set up. It's very frustrating, it doesn't save these properties, but there we go. So compare and order unit fractions. So which is the odd one out and why? I want you to pause it here and discuss, or just think about it in your head. You might want to write down, I think, is the odd one out because there is no right or wrong answer. There are just different answers. Each one's different for a variety of different ways. Just going to pause. So I could say that 1/12 is the odd one out because it's got the biggest denominator. It goes into double digits for the denominator. I could say that 7/8 was the odd one out because it is the only non-unit fraction. I could say that 1/3 is the odd one out because the denominator isn't even, so, or isn't in the 4 times table. So lots of different reasons why they're all different, but it's our differences that make us special. Okay, so today we've got the sheet, and I will put this sheet onto the Google Drive, so that I'll save that on there in a minute, so that you've got it. So if the pizza was shared equally between 2 people, each person would receive 1/2. This would be written as 1/2. What if the same pizza was shared equally between 4 people, or shared between 8 people, or 12 people? So what I want you to do is work out the denominator and the numerator for each. So each person will be getting 1 piece, so the numerator we know, and you've got to count and write in the denominator. Okay, so the children want to find the largest fraction of chocolate to enjoy. Who is correct? So 12 is larger than 2 and 4. The largest piece will be 1/12. I want that one. The chocolate is cut into halves. We'll have the largest piece as there are only 2 equal parts. So the piece of chocolate is the same size. Which part do you want? So the question we're going to pause on is, who do you agree with? Explain why. Which piece of chocolate would you like? Who do you agree with? Explain why. You can write this down. You can write it down and then read it out on a video and on portfolios. That would be lovely to see. But we're going to pause now and we're going to write that down. Okay, I personally would have 1/12 of that chocolate, 1/2 of that chocolate, and 1/4 of the last piece. That sounds like a positive lockdown diet to me. Okay, so I'm going to put this lily pad game onto the Google Drive. So find a path across the lily pads by finding a pathway of fractions which increase in size. You can leap in any direction. Explain how you knew that the next fraction was larger. So we're going to start with 1/10, and we're going to go to a larger number. Now we could go to 1/8, jump, and we could show that by drawing an arrow. So we could go to here. You, of course, would use a ruler. So from 1/8, we need to get to a bigger fraction. And you've got options there. But for example, if I go to this one, which is bigger, because the whole is split into 2 instead of into 8, which would be smaller. Now, I can't go into any of these. So we've got to think smart. We've got to think logically, we've got to get all the way over to the finish line, okay? So you can play this game with counters, or you could just do your arrows. It's entirely up to you. But I will leave this game again on the Google Drive, so you can have a go at that. Okay, record your steps in your book like this. On my first step, I moved from 1/10 to 1/8, because if I split a cake into 10 slices and another into 8 slices, I would rather have one of the 8 slices. This is because it is bigger. So I would like you to now explain one of your jumps, not the whole path because you'd be writing forever, but one jump, and explain why you made that jump and why it was important. Okay? And we can pause here and do that. Okay. So now we've got our destination questions for today. So order these unit fractions from largest to smallest. So that means the largest fraction. So remember, think about the cake. They're all the same size. All the cakes are the same size. And you split one cake into 6 slices, and one cake into 3 slices, one cake into 12 slices, one cake into 9 slices. Which cake slice will be the biggest? It will be 1/3. Which is a bit strange because you're actually picking the smallest denominator, but it's the largest fraction. Okay, so have a go at that question, and you can order them on your page. When you're ordering on your page, make sure you put a comma in between and you space out nicely so that you've got your comma in between there. You might not have to, but you can do that on line paper as well. Just make sure there's a nice space in between. Okay, and then you need to answer question number 4. True or false? And crucially, which we always forget, explain why. 1/8 is bigger than 1/6 because 8 is larger than 6. True or false? Explain why. Okay, that's today's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope now that, because we were doing some work on fractions with BBC Bitesize and Oak Academy, I hope that's really consolidated that learning. Hope to tune in. It's my birthday, so I'm going to go and get some cake